Yo, welcome to my channel. My name is Aziz, and if you're new to this channel, I try to share my personal experiences, insights, and lesson learns. And in today's video, I'm diving into something that was killing my productivity. Over the past few months, I felt completely off track and honestly, kind of felt like I lost myself. And in this video, I'm going to talk about how I got caught up in this hustle culture to make money fast and how it pushed me away from everything that truly matters to me. But don't get me wrong, I've learned so much from it. So I'll be sharing my story and the steps I've taken to find my way back and to get back to the things that actually matter to me, which are my career, my health, and my family. So let's talk about how all of this started, what went wrong, and how I finally got back on track. Let's get into it. So let's talk about how I got lost in the first place. A big part of it was really just chasing side hustles, trying to make as much money as possible and as fast as possible. I got caught up in this idea that I needed to build something, do something on the side, and, be successful right now. It was really everywhere. People online talking about how they're quitting their jobs, making passive income, and living these, let's call it freedom lifestyles. And I couldn't help but compare myself to them. It started really just messing with my head, and I kept thinking that I probably need to do that too, and I need to catch up with my life. And honestly, I think we all kind of fall into that trap sometimes, looking at others, seeing their success and thinking we need to do that like immediately. So I dove into side hustles, and the first one was really just starting newsletter business. I thought I could grow it, get some sponsors, maybe even turn it into a full business. I was watching YouTube videos, reading articles, trying to learn everything I could all at the same time. It was just like investing a lot of time and energy into this project. But the more I tried, the more I realized I wasn't really passionate about it. I wasn't really building anything meaningful, building something because I loved it. I was just building it because I thought it would be the key to my success. Then I got into the world of AI, learning how to use AI agents to build apps. I thought this is the future. This could, change everything for me. I started to learn all of these different platforms, how to automate processes, what problems are out there to solve, and, how to build these cool apps with AI for a specific niche. I thought it was kind of like, a shortcut to success. I spent hours on it, learned a lot, but again, it wasn't because I was passionate about it. It was more because I thought it was the next big thing, just like a newsletter, just like starting a social media marketing agency, etc. And the problem really was I was just bouncing from one idea to the next. And every time something didn't work, I just jumped to the next thing on the list. The hustle was real, but the direction honestly wasn't in the right direction. I didn't have a clear vision. I was just too focused on getting there fast and quick instead of making sure I was going down the right path. And here's the cost of chasing too many things. When you're juggling too many different things, your energy's kind of spread thin. The first thing that started to slip was my time with my family. I'd be sitting in the living room with them, but my mind would be, just racing with ideas about my next app or the AI tools I was learning or finding the perfect niche that has problems to solve. So it wasn't fair to my family. The people I loved were right there in front of me, but I was just too focused on this idea of success. I started getting frustrated. Little things, would set me off. I'd get angry over the smallest stuff, and I couldn't figure out why. It felt like I was, just doing all this work, but getting really nowhere. I was chasing this idea of success, but not really achieving it. And the worst part really was the more I chased, the more frustrated I became. I felt like I was running in circles. I was burning myself out and didn't even realize it at the time. And not only that, but I also started pushing my career aside. I used to be, all about personal growth, thinking long term. But when the side hustles came into play, I kind of stopped caring. My job wasn't a priority to me anymore. I thought that I could leave it behind once I make it. But the truth is, I was just letting go of my career growth. I was just too focused on quick wins. And in doing so, I kind of neglected the slow and steady progress that, you know, really mattered. Now, what also got affected was my workout routine. Working out basically was my reset button, the thing that kept me sane, but I was too busy to go. I kept telling myself I'd start again tomorrow, but tomorrow never came. And before I knew it, I wasn't feeling like myself at all. My body felt off, my mind felt foggy, and I wasn't taking care of the one thing I really needed to take care of, which was myself. And on top of that, I even stopped posting online. I stopped making YouTube videos. I used to love sharing my journey and connecting with people, but the pressure to figure everything out at once and to succeed fast took that joy away from me. I felt like I couldn't post unless I had something figured out or unless I was winning. And that's not really why I started this channel in the first place. I let that pressure steal something that used to bring me so much joy and fulfillment. Now, the first shift I made to start finding myself again was stopping the hustle immediately. I realized that in trying to chase all these different side hustles, I was just getting nowhere. So I just dropped them. I stopped trying to start the next big thing and decided to focus on something that had actual long-term potential, and that's my career. I took a step back and looked at my job differently. I wasn't just going through the motions anymore. I actually started showing up with more intention. I began to ask myself, how can I grow here? What skills can I develop and for both me and to add more value to the team? So I stopped seeing my job as just a paycheck and started seeing it as a place to learn, grow, and actually build something that's, I'd say, real. And you know what? It actually felt good for the first time in a while. I started thinking about the future again, but this time with, more grounded perspective. I realized that my career wasn't something to just brush off. It actually had real opportunities for growth, and I had to invest my energy into it. And just by shifting my mindset, I felt more aligned with what I truly wanted and not just having a quick fix for my life. Now, the next shift I made was getting back to the gym, and that was huge to me. This wasn't about being obsessed with getting fit again. It was about taking care of my mental and physical health. I wasn't going to the gym because I felt like I had to. I actually went to the gym because I knew would, clear my mind and help me feel like myself again and better overall. It wasn't easy to get back into it at first. It was actually really difficult. One of the hardest things I've done, if I'm being completely honest. I kept telling myself I'd go tomorrow or next week or the week after, but eventually I just had to take that first step. I started small, 3 days a week, no heavy lifting, nothing extreme, just getting into the habit again. And I wasn't just working on my body, I was actually working on my mental health too. And that what pushed me even harder to, stay consistent again with it. Every time I went to the gym, it felt like I was reconnecting with myself in a way. It wasn't just the physical progress, but the mental clarity that I got from taking that time for myself. It was honestly just insane. And the gym reminded me that taking care of my physical and mental health was just as important, if not more important, than all the work I was putting into all the other things. Now, another thing that I changed was showing up for the people in my life. I had to be honest with myself. The people that were closest to me were actually getting the short end of the stick. I was mentally absent even when I was physically there. So I made a conscious effort to change that. I started putting my phone down when I was with them. I stopped thinking about work or side hustles when we were hanging out. I started having real conversations with them again. And honestly, the most important thing for me was spending more time with my mom. And it wasn't really just about making time for them, it was about being present, actually engaging with people that matter to me the most. I'll be honest. At first, it kind of felt weird. I had gotten so used to being on my phone or thinking about work. So being fully present was something I had to consciously work at, but it obviously felt right. It was exactly what I needed. The people who matter to me the most deserved my full attention. The biggest shift I made, though, was learning to slow down. I realized that I have been rushing everything. I was constantly trying to get ahead, trying to make things happen quickly, but all I was really doing was just burning out. I stopped focusing on how quickly I could get there and started focusing on the journey itself. I accepted that there is no quick fix to success, there's no shortcut to growth. It's all about taking it step by step, staying consistent, and showing up every day, even if you're only moving forward just a little bit at a time, really. I stopped comparing myself to others. I stopped thinking I had to be at a certain place by a certain time. And I realized that I am on my own timeline, and that's totally fine. So once I understood that, I kind of stopped pressuring myself to do everything at once, and I learned to focus on one thing at a time. So where am I right now? Well, I'm still here, still learning, still growing, but I'm more at peace, a lot more at peace right now. I stopped chasing everything and I started focusing on the things that matter the most, which are my career, my family, and my relationships. And honestly, I'm not in a rush to be anywhere anytime soon. I've learned that real growth takes time. It's not flashy, it's not always exciting, but it's definitely real. And if you're watching this and you feel like you're in a similar spot, like you're chasing everything but not really getting anywhere, just know that it's okay and you're honestly not alone. But it's also okay to slow down, to reset, and to focus on what actually matters to you and what's actually more important to you. Sometimes the best thing you can do is really just stop and breathe. Now, that's it for me. Thanks for watching, and I hope this video helped you in some way. If it resonated with you at all, please drop a like, leave a comment, and please don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Catch you in the next one. Peace.